The Antarctic Impact Crater, located in East Antarctica, is approximately 3 times the size of the Chicxulub crater in the Yucatan Peninsula, which was created by a meteorite impact about 65 million years ago and potentially caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. On the other hand, the meteorite that formed the massive scar on the Antarctic surface was several times larger than the dinosaur-killing meteorite, with an estimated diameter of over 45 kilometers. Antarctica is full of surprises, but this discovery might just send shivers down your spine. The Ross Ice Shelf, an area the size of Texas, is producing sounds that are straight out of a horror movie soundtrack. The vibrations caused by the wind whipping across the snow dunes make the ice vibrate, resulting in a haunting didgeridoo-like sound. While it may sound creepy, it is actually shedding new light on the study of glaciers. The
results strongly support that these beings are not closely related.
Implications of melting ice shelves on rising sea levels are a major concern, and scientists are eager to understand how this process works. Ice shelves act as a plug in a bottle, keeping a flow of ice from the interior of Antarctica to the ocean restrained. But as they melt, the restraining force weakens and more ice can flow out, exacerbating the rise in sea levels. The discovery of the singing ice shelf was made possible through the use of sensitive seismographs, which allowed scientists to study the glaciers in new and innovative ways. By placing the instruments at the top of the ice shelf, the researchers were able to collect data for 2 years and found that the Ross Ice Shelf sings at frequencies of 5 cycles or more almost continuously. This discovery not only offers an eerie soundtrack to the frozen continent, but also provides valuable insights into the mechanisms behind glacier melting and rising sea levels. Antarctica, the world's southernmost continent, is home to many mysteries that continue to fascinate scientists. However, not everything in this frozen land remains an enigma forever. Recently, researchers have uncovered the explanation for a massive phenomenon known as polynyas, which are essentially large holes in sea ice. These holes are extremely useful for Antarctic animals such as seals, whales, and penguins that swim beneath the ice and need to surface to breathe and rest. One specific polynya that has intrigued scientists is the Weddell Sea polynya, or the Weddell polynya. This particular polynya was first spotted in 1974 in early satellite images near an underwater mountain called Maud Rise. It was massive, approximately the size of New Zealand. Even though air temperatures in the area were well below freezing, the polynya reappeared in 1975 and 1976. However, it seemed to have vanished after 1976, leading scientists to believe that it was a long-extinct process. To their surprise, the Weddell polynya reappeared in 2016 in a slightly smaller size, about the size of the US state of Maine. It then reappeared again in 2017, and a study published at the time linked the 2017 polynya to cyclone activity. But as with many global phenomena, there may be more than one cause, and this recent study shows that several factors need to align for a polynya to form. Some of these factors could happen in any given year, but unless they all come together, a polynya won't occur. Fortunately, advancements in technology have allowed scientists to better understand this unique phenomenon. With access to a variety of data streams, including satellite images dating back decades and information from the Southern Ocean carbon and climate observations and modelling, researchers have been able to study the polynya and its causes more closely. The system of floating instruments drifts in the Southern Ocean, monitoring temperature, salinity, and current to 2,000 meters, and has been collecting data since 2014, providing valuable insights into this strange and captivating occurrence. Scientists have also been fitting Antarctic elephant seals with Argos systems, which include GPS, temperature, and salinity sensors for many years. This has led to a third stream of data that has been collected. The recent formation of the polynya was caused by a combination of various factors, including abnormal ocean conditions and a series of intense storms that brought hurricane-level winds over the Weddell Sea. The scientists found out that when strong ocean winds approach the Antarctic coastline, they promote upward mixing in the Weddell Sea near Maud Rise, which causes dense seawater to swirl around itself, creating a vortex above. For many years, 2 floating instruments were trapped in this vortex. In the winter of 2016, when the seawater was particularly salty, it set off a circulation feedback loop in which warm water from below rose to the surface and was cooled by contact with the air, causing it to become denser and sink back down, while more warm water rose to take its place, resulting in a constant cycling that prevented sea ice formation. The researchers believe that this could have further climate implications due to the significant amount of carbon stored at the bottom of the Antarctic Ocean. Normally, this carbon is slowly circulated throughout the world's oceans, but if winter winds increase in strength and frequency as predicted by climate change, more polynyas may be created, which could lead to more bottom water being circulated to the surface. This carbon, which has been locked away for hundreds of years, could be released into the atmosphere in a polynya through violent mixing, potentially causing a major impact on the climate system if it were to occur multiple years in a row. Think you know everything there is to know about the discovery of Antarctica? Think again. While most of us were taught that the frozen continent was first discovered in the early 19th century, an ancient map called the Piri-Reis map tells a very different story. But this map is highly controversial and some authorities have gone to great lengths to suppress it. So what's the story behind this mysterious map? In 1929, a German theologian named Gustav Adolf Deismann stumbled upon a parchment in the Topkapi Palace Library in Istanbul. What he found was a map of what appeared to be South America drawn on a gazelle's skin parchment. This map, which became known as the Piri-Reis map, was drawn and signed by Turkish cartographer Haji Ahmed Muhyiddin Piri, or Piri-Reis, in 1513. Piri-Reis, who was both a cartographer and a member of the Turkish Navy, claimed to have used 20 different maps and charts as his sources. What's even more interesting is that 8 of these maps were Ptolemaic, meaning they were based on the knowledge of the ancient Greek society from the 2nd century. But this map on a piece of preserved gazelle skin is shaking up the world of cartography. Why, you ask? Well, for starters, this ancient artifact shows Antarctica almost 300 years before it was officially discovered. But that's not all. The map also reveals a landmass that existed before the icy cap of Antarctica formed some 6,000 years ago. Enter Professor Charles Hapgood of the University of New Hampshire, who in 1965 published a book called Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings. Hapgood and his students delved deep into the mysteries of the Piri-Reis map, discovering that it was drawn using the Mercator projection, a method not used by European cartographers until centuries after its creation. So how did this map end up showing Antarctica without its ice cap? And who could possibly have known about it over 4,000 years ago? Hapgood proposed that the map was based on information from an ancient civilization and cartographic skills that put our current technological capabilities to shame. And get this, Hapgood even suggested that this civilization may have had aerial capability.